One of the early ones that Francois Moulet and Art Spiegelman did together with
they published
Raw.
They published one that was kind of a compilation of things from the different. These are the giant hardbacks, but they actually published a paperback that had stories collected from the different ones.
And isn't that a gorgeous cover? And
it's a beautiful
sophisticated.
cover.
It's like mind blowing. Really.
And that's Spiegelman. Yeah, it's a Spiegelman cover. He's very restless as an artist. He explores different styles. You can usually recognize him anyway, but he's done so many New Yorker covers. Of course, he's got an in with the editor.
Yeah.
But ones that have gotten a lot of national attention. But you get stories by people like Lemony Snicket, who did, of course, the series of unfortunate events. Illustrated by Richard Sala, who's also a great comic storyteller on his own. Very charming. And I was very influenced by one of the books he wrote. And then there's J. Otis Siebold, who
children's author, illustrator.
A lot of children's books. His penguin is very recognizable. It's the same one he used on all of the Other Reindeer. I don't know if it's the same character, but
All of the Other Reindeer is such a great book.
And Neil Gaiman, who's famous for Coraline and all that, started in comics and got his attention.
He did his famous.
He did Sandman.
Sandman series.
Which one of the issues of that won the World Fantasy Award and upset the entire world of literature, because how dare a comic book come and take an award from an actual artist?
Like the Pulitzer from the journalist.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, how funny.
Yeah, but and it's Basil Wolverton here, and he was working in the 50s. So they just picked up one of his old stories. It fits right in with these modern literary takes. And people from all over the world writing this. I'm seeing Japanese artists. Patrick McDonnell, who does the comic strip Mutts. There's one in here. And so there's a bunch of absolutely brilliant work being done for kids in comics. And these are, just lovely artistic works. And by respected, well-known children's book names. People are now learning as autobiography, biography, history, romance, fantasy, superhero, just plain silliness. They're an imprint of Macmillan for Mark Siegel, did a bunch of children's books on his own as well, which are kind of graphic novelish, even to start with. His Sea Dogs, for instance, was a semi-graphic novel, children's book. And they take a real European attitude towards the comics. They're really interested in the kind of skewed, the kind of sideways, the kind of really interesting story. They're not going to publish just a plain old superhero beat 'em up. That doesn't mean they wouldn't publish a superhero story, but you've got to have a real hook, something that really grabs the interest and seems new and fresh. First Second is publishing Dave Roman. He's a very cartoony guy. They're publishing his Astronaut Academy. He published it himself originally on the web and in little hand-stapled pamphlets that are so cute. Called it Astronaut Elementary, and I guess they felt maybe the word academy made it more approachable by older kids that would see elementary and think, oh, that's for babies. Because it most certainly isn't. It's clever as all get out. It's funny. It parodies all the Japanese stuff the kids love so much. There's parodies of the Pokemon stuff. What if your school was a space station and you had subjects like Spanish, math, tumbling in space, fireball throwing? It's just really charming stuff, and I fell in love with his stuff. His wife is Raina Tegelmeier, who wrote Smile, which I believe is also First Second, which is a story, which is an autobiography about her young teen years. She had an accident that damaged her mouth, and about all the reconstructive surgery and braces and everything, and being a young teenage girl dealing with the fact that she had major dental work going on the whole time, and what that does to your self-esteem. And
Yeah, a lot of these graphic novels are very personal stories, aren't they?
They are.
It's stunning and almost scary in a way how close to the bone a lot of them are. Not to mention the adult subjects that a lot of them.
It's a marvelous way to tell a difficult story. And Art Spiegelman won the Pulitzer for Mouse. The subtitle was My Father Bleeds History. His father's an Auschwitz survivor.
Right.
And his mother also, and his mother committed suicide when he was a teenager. She never really, and he told this story in comics format, and some people, at the time, this was the late 80s, I think, that they were published as a book. He'd been doing bits and pieces for a decade or so before that, trying to exorcise these demons from his family by recording it. There was a lot of criticism saying, oh, comics are too lightweight for this material, and, you know, oh, you're drawing the Jews as mice and the Nazis as cats, and isn't that a bit of an obvious metaphor? But you read it, and it's just brilliant. And it won the Pulitzer for a reason. It changed the way Americans looked at comics.